Hi everyone, welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I want to just check my volume. Yeah, looks like I'm good. Okay. I had a busy weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was at a professional conference. Learned a lot. Reconnected with some people I hadn't seen in a long time, so I hadn't been in my studio for a few days. So I had to get a project prepped for tonight. But anyway, I'm so glad you're here. A little bit of housekeeping. First of all, if you like the video I do tonight, please share my video, share down in the comments. And then I take all of those names, I enter them in a drawing, and if your name is chosen, you'll win the project I'm working on tonight. Last week I made this non-traditional Christmas card. Well, the Christmas card's traditional, the colors are not. But like I said at the time, I said you could still do this card with whatever designer series paper you wanted to use. But this card's going out to Jessica Williams. So Jessica, I will get this sent out to you in the next couple days. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. And then once you do, click that little blue bell and you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video, which is most every Monday night. Okay, other than the great starter kit value, I talked about that last week. I don't think I have anything new else to talk about. I do have some of the new packaging for the dies and the stamp sets. So once I switch my hands down, I thought I'd take a second and show you that. Let me fix here my light. I had an ancillary light here and it's not wanting to cooperate very well. Okay, well, we're just going to continue, and there may be a little shadow. Okay, let me change down to my hands. Here we go. So this is the new packaging. This is these products are going to be online exclusives that will be deleted, good grief, available to purchase, for customers to purchase in November. And so this is the stamp set. These are the dies. Dies are pretty much, just like we're used to seeing. It's just that might be in a little different size card. These things are just short of 6 inches. It's closer to 5.5 by 9. And then this is a stamp set. Remember, they're getting rid of they're not going to have the red rubber anymore, the cling stamp. But they're all going to be photopolymer. So, kind of makes me sad, but what am I to do? So they're going to come on their carrier sheet like this. This will cause me to have to change how I store these, because now I take these off of these sheets and I put them right on the case. But I can't do that anymore because I won't have a case to put it on. So, but the nice thing is, I saw a demonstrator who ordered all of the new, the early release of the online exclusives that are coming in November, and they had all of them, and there was like 8 or 9, and they only took up this much room on their shelf. They get them in a bin so you can flip them. And so some of us, we're all going to have to adjust one way or another. But anyway, okay. So last week's Christmas card was very non-traditional. This one's more Christmas traditional colors. Okay? So I want to get started first. This designer series paper is this pack. And you're like, that looks familiar. This is the Season of Elegance 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Series paper. And if you're saying, I've seen that before, you're absolutely right. This carried over in our annual catalog. And from last year, I believe it was the holiday catalog last year. It's Cherry Cobbler. I think that's basic beige. I believe that's like old olive. There's pretty peacock. And it's just some super nice paper. So if you've got this, pull this out. If you don't, you might want to pick some up. I'm going to pull up the sheet here because this is the one I used for my card. Okay. Now, yes, this card has a lot of die cutting on it, but I've done all the die cutting already, so we don't have to worry about that. If you're looking to purchase some Stampin' Up! Products, please go to my website. You can enter the store there and place your online order. If you need some assistance, contact me and I'll be glad to help. Okay, I have, let's see. We'll go ahead and talk through the pieces here. Okay, our card base is 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half, and this is Cherry Cobbler. Okay. This is Cherry Cobbler. Let me go ahead and do that. And then I have this mat. This mat is 5 1/4 by 4. I'm going to put that right on there. We'll get to this piece here in just a second. There we go. I know I'm not running out of tape because I just refilled it. Okay, so there's that. That's our base. The next layer on our card is the designer series paper. And I cut a piece of 5 by 4 and I used the largest of the branching out dies. You can see I used the branching out dies a couple times. This is the largest one to cut this out. But what I did was, this is 12 by 12 paper. I cut this paper in half and then die cut it like, from here. This piece is more from here, closer to here probably. Anyway, somewhere along here. So instead of getting the paper that had less gold on it, I was trying to pick up more gold, okay? So does that make sense? This is 12 inches. So I'm cutting in half by 6, and then my die cut, I laid it, so it picked up more of the gold in the card. Like down here, you'd have almost all gold. Okay, this die set does have a coordinating stamp set. I didn't purchase it because I was more interested in these dies. And as you can see, I used them on this card. In Old Olive, I've done this branch. These little pine cones are in Early Espresso. And this, I was going to cut out a Cherry Cobbler, but then I had this piece here salvaged. You know what I did? I cut them out of here. This is the piece that was right here. And what's nice is this does have gold kind of speckles on it. So some of those pieces picked up those gold speckles. So it was an easy way to embellish without really having to do anything extra. Haven't used this yet. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't seen it used. But I just thought this was a very, very versatile die set just by itself. So like I said, I cut mine in half to cut my piece of the background out. So like I said, it was 4 by 5, and then I cut it with the largest of those dies. I'm going to go ahead and put it on my card here. And I'm a little bit right down here. I usually do that. Whew. Sometimes ideas come together easy. Sometimes it takes them a little time. It kind of depends. So I kind of knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't have a good idea of what it was going to look like. So I had to do some quick designing. I also used the traditional labels dies. I used the Season's Greetings with this die right here to make it look like a banner. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp that right now. And that's really the only stamping on this card. So let me Let me pull my pieces over here. Sorry. I do have extras in case I mess up, as I always do that. You know, always make sure I have extra. Now I want to make sure I have this the right way, because there is a slight difference in this die that this screening fits better one way than the other. It's subtle, but it is there. So we're gonna put this, this ink, this is cherry cobbler, and I just got it all over my hand. It looks like I cut myself. Hold on, let me clean this up. Let me get a piece of paper towel here, hold on. Okay. I really don't do that very often. I'm going to close this up. Then I'm going to make sure I don't have any residual ink on my fingers. So let me put that over there. And you know, something that's really good to use is a little bit of hand sanitizer with alcohol in it. That'll help make sure you get any residual ink. Or, you know, if you've got an alcohol swab or something like that. Now it looks like I bled a little bit, but good thing I'm not going any place the rest of the day. So, and red stains, but that's okay. Okay, mess cleaned up. Big fat fingers in the ink. Okay, so that's done. Now I have used these dies again from the branching out die set. I think this is number 4? I have to double check. Oh, come on. Number 4. Yeah, this is cherry cobbler. I've used the 4th from the largest, and then the 5th from the largest for the front of my sentiment. Okay. I used those in last week's card too. I just like them, and I like the variety of sizes. That'll probably be a die set that I keep, that I don't get rid of, because it'll be something that'll be so versatile to me in the future. Okay, so let me pull all my die cuts over here. I have 3 of these red holly, for lack of a better word. I've done 3 of these branches. They are in old olive. Remember, these I cut out of the salvage from the designer series paper, because we wanted to pick up those gold speckles. And there is some gold speckle in them. I mean, if you didn't have that and you wanted to use something else, there's Winkestella. And then the pine cones are cut out of early espresso. So we've got all of our pieces here. Now what I did for mine, the first thing I did is, okay, before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 dimensionals on the back. Oh, I used Very Vanilla for both my banner and my sentiment. That the banner I stamped the sentiment on, and this piece here. These are Very Vanilla. You could use basic white if you wanted to, but I just wanted something a little that wasn't so in my face. It just felt like the Very Vanilla was better than the white in this case. So what I did was, because I'm going to place these around, but I don't want these stems, see, like if I put this here, I don't want these stems sticking out the bottom. So I ended up cutting these apart into smaller pieces like this. And it really doesn't make, it'll be a mess underneath, but where it counts, it'll look just fine. Okay. You know, it's only paper. Okay. And you could use adhesive sheet on these to attach them, but I didn't. You can tell because, you know, they're not completely flat to the card. They do move. So what I do when I'm putting, you can't use seal adhesive on it. So that kind of pretty much leaves the green glue. And it can get, you know, messy. So I either take my silicone sheet, or this is just a backing from a sticker. It was a mailing label. And I can just put a little bit of glue down there. And I'll need more. Yeah, let's go ahead and put a little more down there. And for something like this, I like to use my reverse tweezers to hold on to stuff. So, and I can just kind of dip this in the glue. See? Then if I've got too much, this is a piece of scrap white, I can kind of brush it off so this does not get too gluey. Is that a word? I'm already sticky. That's another thing that the adhesive sheet or the hand sanitizer is good for, is getting this residue from green glue off your hands. So I'm just kind of, I wasn't real fond of my placement on that one, so I am going to just kind of do, and I'm not really paying a whole lot of attention to this, to be perfectly honest. Maybe I should pay more, but I feel like in nature, it doesn't make a ton of difference. Everything's different. Pick that up. I guess I can I'm gonna set this off to the side here because it does have some glue on it. I don't want to get it on my creation here. There we go. I'm gonna put some more glue down. See, I'd rather put a little bit down and have to add some more than to put too much down and waste it. And the nice thing about putting this little bouquet, for lack of a better word, together is that if I have a place, like I've got some extra glue oozing out of that center thing, I can put one of these other embellishments over it. So I'm going to put this one more like this. A couple more here. I need to probably see. I was talking and I wasn't taking extra glue off, but I like the little piece with the extra cardstock, because it's a nice way to get some of that extra off. Pick up some glue. Yeah, that's probably fine. Okay, here we go. That's good. I'm gonna set that off to the side along with my piece of cardstock that has glue on it. And before I go and put these other things on, I want to look. Yep, that's pretty good, but like I know I need to cover up down here a little bit. Oh, you know what? I still do need this because I'm going to use it for these too. No, I'm going to put this on next. This is what I'm going to do. Okay. Getting ahead of myself. Right like that. And I really don't like that, so I want to make sure I put one of these on there to my green glue is almost empty. There we go. I probably got another project or two in the bottle, but okay, so priorities to put this like right here. So you can see I've got glue on it, but there's more than I want. So I'm going to just kind of scrape it off. There we go. And I can just kind of tuck the end underneath my sentiment. There we go. And that kind of hides the gooey glue that I had. Let me zoom in a little closer here for a minute while I'm doing this. Okay. So I'm gonna get another one of those. I'm gonna do the same thing, but put a little bit glue down here. Sometimes I think this is a more efficient way to do it than to try to put the glue on the die cut piece. Let's put this one here, kind of fill this spot in, like that. And I am going to put this one more up here, I think. And I really don't need a ton of this glue. I'm going to be a little off center on this. There we go. There we go. That's nice. They're nice and spread around. Still have some spots, but I'm also going to fill those in with these pine cones. So I've got 3 pine cones. The pine cones have a stem end. The top, so this is the end I'm going to want to go under my label. So I'm going to put one right there. And you know, there's no right or wrong. This is nature stuff. So, you know, do whatever you want. Don't put, oh, come on, too much glue on these. These little pine cones do have, well, I may have to pick up some of this glue. Let's see here. They do have holes on the main side, so, okay. Let's put this one here. You don't want the glue to ooze out. Okay. Do I have anything else I need to cover up before I start this? Okay, I don't think so. Okay, we'll put this here. And you know, if you don't like it, cut out a couple more pine cones or a couple more of the red, you know, and add them in. You can always do that. I think I'll put this one right here. No right, no wrong, just do it. All right? Just do it. So there we go. I've put that together. I think that looks pretty nice. Biggest thing is just to make it not too matchy, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to put adhesive or stamp and seal on it. I'm going to put it on top of the die cut of the same shape but one size bigger. That is in Cherry Cobbler. There we go. Now, you know, if I'm I've said this before, if I'm mailing a card, I don't like any more than one layer of dimensionals most of the time. And since this is already on dimensionals, I'm going to put this flat on here. You could raise it up if you want to. You just need to be careful. Sometimes it makes it too thick to go through the machinery, the canceling machinery, and you need to use extra. You have to pay extra for a hang cancel or, you know, something like that. So it just depends what's important to you. And I don't, you know what, I honestly don't think it makes much difference on this card one way or another. So it's almost done. Just got some embellishments to add. And I'm going to add, these are the adhesive back metallic dots. I wanted a little bling bling, extra bling bling. There we have gold ribbon. I could have used that. I didn't feel like using gold ribbon. So I am just going to put a couple of these in here. These are, I think they're gold and silver and copper maybe. Let's put it right up here. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, don't overthink it. Just put it on there. I'll put that one over there. That's good. Now, I think our card's done. There we go. We used a variety of products. I know I used kind of a lot of different products, but I did want to give you a Christmas card that was a little more traditional this week. So I hope you like it. And share my video, comment, shared, and I might be sending this to you. Everybody, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next Monday night on Stamping with Denise. Bye now.